Tonight on the HPT, we're at the Ameristar in Vicksburg, Mississippi, where a field of 199 entrants generated a prize pool of nearly $200,000. Going out in ninth place was Louisiana native Ted Schneider. Facing a raise and a call, Ted shoved all in with ace-jack suited in clubs and was called by Dustin's ace-queen of hearts. The flop was 10-5-4 with two clubs giving Ted a flush draw, but he's still behind. The turn card was the trey of spades. Now both players have a straight draw. And that river card, it was the 9 of hearts. No help for Ted. He was eliminated in ninth place, taking home just over $5,000. You might recognize tonight's 8th place finisher. He's defending champion and now 3-time HPT final tableist Freddie Ardoin. In early position, Freddie raised with his ace-queen of hearts and was called by ALTON and his 10-6 off from the big blind. The flop was 9-ace-8 rainbow. ALTON flops an open-ended straight draw and checks. Flopping a pair of aces, Freddie bets and ALTON makes the call. The turn card, the 7 of clubs, the buzzsaw. ALTON makes a straight. He checks to Freddie. Freddie goes all in. ALTON makes the call and Freddie is drawing dead. A meaningless 4 of spades hits the river and Freddie's dream of becoming a 2-time HPT champion has ended. But not for nothing. He walks away with just over $6,000. And finally, going out in 7th place was D'Iberville, Mississippi native Tim Burr. Facing a raise from Jeff in the small blind, Tim raised all in with his ace-10 of clubs and was called by the ace-queen of Jeff. The flop was 5-jack-8 rainbow. No help for Tim. The turn card was the 7 of spades. That gives Tim a straight draw, but also gives Jeff a flush draw. And that river card, it was the ace of spades. Jeff makes his flush and eliminates Tim in 7th place. He goes home with just over $7,000. All right, folks, we've got 6 players remaining and over $100,000 to award, and it all starts right now.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside poker professional and poker coach, Mr. Kenneth James, and it's time for another exciting episode of the HPT. We're here inside the Bottleneck Blues Bar at the Ameristar Casino Hotel, Vicksburg, Mississippi. What a week it's been.
Yeah, it's fantastic. When I come to Vicksburg, I love the people. It's really a social atmosphere. And let's face it, most of us grew up playing poker around the kitchen table. It was very social. But tonight, it's time for competition. You think about the common trait amongst poker players, it's competitive. They're out to compete tonight for this great prize pool. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Speaking of that prize pool, over $191,000. Now keep in mind, this was just an $1,100 entry. So I think what we should do right now, meet the 6 final table players, and most importantly, speaking of money, take a look at the prize pool.
Up top, over $45,000 on down to 6th place, $8,439.
And your chip counts here, Dustin is leading the pack. Right behind him, Joshua and BJ. And you see Seth Evans there with about $440,000, 7% of the chips in play. He'll need to pick a spot to try to double up and get back in this main event. Blinds are $20,000, $40,000 with the $40K big blind ante. It's time to play some poker here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg.
It sure is, James. And ALTON here, he looks down at 6-3. He's the second shortest stack with just 15 big blinds, but elects not to go here.
By the way, speaking of ALTON, he got into this thing for $135.
Get
right now,
out.
the min cash here at this final table, $8,439. So you talk about a success story. That man right there, ALTON, he's living it firsthand.
He sure is. And Joshua raising it up here with 9-4. And Jeff defending, not having any of it. He's going to defend his position with 10-4 suited and leverage his position really nice here. I think a lot of opponents, they don't leverage their position, meaning when your opponent shows weakness and checks to you, even if you don't have anything, you got to take a stab at it and leverage that position to your advantage.
Well, I'm told down here in the South, here in Mississippi, there's a lot of bluffing that has been going on all week long. It's been a great week of poker, let me tell you. Our 7th trip back here to the great state of Mississippi.
Yeah, it really is nice to come here. The people are so nice, and but it's not social poker tonight. It's competitive poker. We're playing for a lot of cash.
Yeah, almost $46,000 will be awarded to our champion. So thanks so much for joining us this week right here on the HPT. So we're starting off with just kind of some laid-back poker right now. A battle of the blinds as the flop comes out 10-9-8.
Well, how about Dustin now? He flops the straight. Low end of the straight. He's going to bet for value, but I don't think BJ's going to go anywhere, James. He's got the second nut flush draw.
Hey, low end, medium end, high end. He just flopped a straight. He's got to feel pretty good, and he bets 50,000 chips.
Yeah, BJ's not going anywhere. To the turn we go.
Wow, and just like that, one street later, the straight's out the door, and the flush is the king.
Yeah, the fortunes change at the turn of a card. Makes this game so great, but looks like Dustin's not giving up.
Test the water a little bit. You know, put your big toe in the water just to check
So to
the
speak,
temperature.
yeah.
And if he comes back and makes it, 600,000, maybe I'll believe that he's got one or possibly two spades.
Well, he peels off some blue chips. Now, to orientate you folks at home, those blue chips are $25,000 apiece. The gray, $5,000 apiece. To the river.
River card is the 5 of hearts. So now Dustin, as you see, a 0% chance to win the hand unless he can bet big enough to get his opponent off his king-high flush, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't see that happening. He's just going to probably lose more. What'll be interesting is whether BJ decides to raise for value here or just play ultra conservative and just flat. I suspect he would raise.
The bet is 200,000, and he's just going to make the call.
Yeah, you can never be too careful, folks.
Hey, it's not quite the nuts. It's the second nuts, but it's good enough to win the hand. All right, folks, it's time for us to step aside for a quick commercial break, but when we come back, the action will continue. Welcome back to the HPT. We're broadcasting from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. BJ leading the pack right now, hoping to take this thing down and go home with almost $46,000. I'm James Larson alongside Ken and James. And Jeff, it's always nice to look at pocket sevens. They're lucky, and they can win.
Absolutely. He's looking for set value here as he just open limps into the pot. I think most people would choose to come in with a raise, but maybe he's going to try and win a bigger pot and set mine here.
Well, Josh is going to raise it to 175, rightfully so, with pocket queens, and now Seth puts all his chips in the middle with ace queen.
Holy cow, the fireworks have gone off here.
And Alton looks down at king 9. That should find its way into the muck.
Looks like nothing is going to the muck easily.
Not so fast, my friend. A suited king. He's thinking about it, but he'll release his hand. And now over to Jeff.
This should be an easy fold for Jeff. But sometimes, you know, you get these thoughts in your mind like, okay, maybe both my opponents have ace-king. Or one has ace-king and I have ace-queen, and I have the best hand. And I just don't want to give up this opportunity to win this massive pot. This could be my opportunity to get it in, get lucky, and take home the title. I mean, you get these thoughts that go through your mind like that, and you know, when it really, as we can see, it's from the catbird seat here, it's an easy fold.
And the other thing is the odds of getting a pair dealt to you 1 in 16. And sometimes players will go several hours before seeing a good hand. That's why I think it's always good to look at your cards when it's your turn to act. Instead, sometimes people look at their cards and they say, I haven't played a hand in forever. I'm playing these sevens no matter what happens.
Right, they get drawn in, you know, through scarcity, right?
Absolutely. Now, Jeff, he wanted to play him, but he said, nope, I'm going to fold, and he's going to see that he made a good decision as his opponents would have had him crushed. Josh with the queens and 2 big overs for Seth, the ace and the queen.
Yeah. Well, Seth was on the short stack, so this is an automatic. He's got to get it in here. Still got a 30% chance. To the flop we go.
The flop, 2 10s and a 9, a couple of clubs.
No bullet, no rocket there. To the turn we go.
Turn card is the deuce of spades, helping neither player. And as you see, Seth is starting to stand up, taking his microphone off, but he's got one more card to catch an ace.
And you know what they say, ace on the river?
Not this time, my friend. The king of clubs, and that is going to do it for Seth. He will be our first elimination tonight here in Vicksburg, but he'll go home with $8,439, and not a bad weekend's worth of work for an $1,100 buy-in right here on the HPT.
No, we have to work a long time to make that kind of
We sure do.
kind of dough.
All right, blinds are 25,000, 50,000 with a 25K big blind ante. And I've had several people ask me this week, James, what does that exactly mean, the big blind ante?
Well, it means that the player in the big blind is going to ante for the table. So he matches the size of the big blind. So it's really a double big blind, where it used to be every player anteed for themselves. But now when we get down to 5 players, the big blind ante will move to the size of the small blind.
Now, do you see a lot of people defending more often now
Yes,
because
good
of all
question.
the chips in the middle?
Absolutely. It's really changed an element and a strategy in the game.
All right, folks, we're broadcasting inside the Bottleneck Blues Bar here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. 149 hotel rooms and 14 jacuzzi suites. But when I checked in, they said, sorry, Mr. Larson, Mr. Kenneth James took the last one.
Yeah, you get the tub.
You get nothing and you'll like it, Spalding. All right, BJ's going to raise to $110,000 with his pocket eights.
Yeah, good spot here. Now Alton, he's got ace, king, big, slick suited. He's got to like that. He's on one of the shorter stacks here. It's nice to wake up with a hand.
And I told you, Elton into this event for just $135. Total winnings on his career, just over $10,000. So he's in a good spot. And we had a nice conversation with him before the final table started. He was excited to get in front of the cameras and the bright lights. And he's got his chips all in the middle right now. Slightly behind in the hand right now, but 2 big overs going up against the pocket snowman of BJ.
Yeah, it's basically a coin flip. Flipping coins, a difference of almost $4,000, a little more than $4,000. So a lot on the line here as we go to the flop.
And the flop is Jack 6-4, all clubs. As you see, neither player with the club in their hand. So the 8 still in the lead. Let's go to the turn card, and it's the 10 of hearts.
That brings a queen in for a straight now for Alton. So ace, king, or queen, as you hear our tournament director, Jeremy Smith, call it down on the floor. To the river we go.
And the river card is the 6 of hearts. So that will do it for the attorney from Canton, Mississippi, Elton Peterson. He'll go home with 5th place money, just over $10,000. I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with his results this week on the HPT. When we come back, your final 4 will battle it out. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James. You see the chip counts there for our final 4 players. BJ on top.
Yeah, but all these players within striking distance, they just need one key hand, one key double up, and they could be the chip leader.
All right, action is on that man right there, Jeff. By the way, I didn't know if you knew this, but he's a cattle rancher.
I didn't, really?
Yeah, Jeff's a cattle rancher. Maybe after the show, we can go out and he can show us a few things out on the ranch. We'll have to get different shoes on, though. Not sure my wingtips will do very well over there, but he's going to raise it to $175,000 with his king-queen. And now Dustin wakes up with a great hand, four-handed, ace-jack.
Yeah, I expect him to 3-bet here and take the lead in this hand. This is a premium hand when you're four-handed. Considering his options. I like him taking his time, though.
All in.
And he does. He does move all in. Now Jeff has a decision. Well, he makes this rather quickly.
Quick call, just like he does out on the ranch. He's got to make a decision, and he's going to get them all in the middle, and he's going to see the bad news here. He's behind to Dustin's ace-jack.
Yeah, 3-2 dog, as we like to call it. That's 2 middles versus 1 under and 1 over. For the opponent, to the flop we go.
And the flop comes out 7-6-5, 2 clubs. So Jeff does have the backdoor club draw going. We go to the turn card. He will need to improve in the next 2 streets, or Jeff will be eliminated. That turn card, no help for Jeff. That's the 10 of diamonds.
Jeff needs a king or a queen on the river. It's going to be a sweat for Dustin. To the river we go.
And the river card is the king of spades.
Just in time.
So Jeff is going to sit down. There's certain things at the poker table. You know, you love, of course, seeing quads.
Right.
You love a good bluff. But, man, when you're standing up and it gets down to that river card and it hits you and it hits your head and you get to sit back down and stack the chips, I got to say, there's not very many times where you're feeling better.
Yeah, it's nice to get saved by the river, you know. Sometimes the river taketh, and sometimes it giveth. And in that case, for Jeff, it giveth, and he's going to stay in this tournament and battle on.
I tell you what, it's nice to be here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg, a 70,000 square foot casino, 1,400 slot machines, over 30 table games. Talked about the hotel rooms, 149 with 14 jacuzzi suites. Opened in 1994. Great to be back, our 7th time here at the casino. BJ now wakes up with Ace Jack, our chip leader. I would imagine there'll be a raise in his future here in about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's grabbing some of those blue 25K chips. If you're just joining us, the grays are 5K apiece. So a stack of blue, which are in units of 20, there is a $500,000. Each one of those stacks of blue.
BJ, by the way, 35 years old, and he last year 3rd place at this event. So we talk about how important it is to have that experience, to play under the lights and the camera, to go through it, and BJ has it from last year. Dustin now, he's going to move all in with his 8-7 of spades.
Yeah, you know, rather than raise when you're on a short stack and risk, you want to maximize fold equity and just pick your spot and move all in. Is this the spot to do it? Let's see what lays behind him.
Because there's just so much strength in those words, all in. And BJ's going to make the call with his ace-6. Jeff's going to get out of the way.
Well, he figures to be ahead of Dustin's range, and that's what you're really looking at. So important for these players to adjust their hand values as players go out and the table becomes shorter. In players, to adjust your hand values, play more hands, and he correctly makes the decision and the call here. As you can see, he's the favorite in the hand.
All right, folks, ace-6 going up against 8-7. If Dustin does not improve, he will be eliminated in 4th place. Let's go to the flop. And you see right there in the window, the ace of diamonds comes out, and Dustin didn't want to see that.
No, it looks grim for him. He's going to need running cards to stay in this tournament. That's a 10. Now he'll have some chop outs with a jack. Otherwise, he'll be our 4th place finisher. To the river we go.
And the river card is the queen of clubs. So that is going to do it for Dustin. He will be eliminated in 4th place, going home with $13,597. And Kenna, talk about all these eliminations. I believe that's 3 now in the last 6 hands.
You're right, James. It's a 1-2 knockout punch here, and it's kind of like those flies in the thing, you know. Bzz, bzz, what do you call that?
The fly zapper.
Yeah, the fly zapper. Now, why is this happening? Well, you know, if players play a real patient game getting to the final table, the blinds really escalate, and now they're in a position where their stacks are relatively low in relationship to the blinds, and it forces them to gamble.
We started with 199 entries, and now we are down to our final 3, and we'll have more action right after this quick commercial break.
We started with 199 entries, and now we are down to our final 3 as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. I'm James Larson, alongside Kenneth James. It's the James Gang down here in the South.
Yeah, just less than 20 big blinds separating all 3 of these players, so we're gearing up for an exciting finish here as BJ opens it up here, three-handed with king 7 of diamonds, making it 110,000 to go. Joshua defending from the big blind with king 6.
Flop comes out, 2 5s and a tray, 2 diamonds. So a good flop there for BJ.
Yeah, he has the best hand, and now he has the draw. The thing Joshua has for him going is he has position, and he's leveraging that position, following up his opponent's check, show of weakness with the bet.
The turn card is the 7 of spades. That pairs BJ's hand, so he's got the diamond draw and a pair, and Joshua will check to him.
Yeah, BJ now checks it back on the button. To the river we go.
The river card is a blank. It's the deuce of hearts. So Josh is first to act, and he'll check. And now action over to BJ with the best hand.
BJ, is he going to go for some value here? Looks like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get paid off, though. Josh just holding king high, but I'm wrong. He's going to pay it off.
Wow, this is a real hero call here.
You know, they call it a hero call.
Right.
But I guess you're trying to be the hero. When you make the call in an attempt to be a hero, but it doesn't work,
You end up being the chump.
well, a hero or a zero.
Yeah, hero or a
Depends on
zero.
how
I
you
like
look
that,
at it.
yeah.
Blinds are 25,000, 50,000 with a 25K big blind ante. Your first place winner tonight will go home with almost $46,000. And the next elimination, by the way, will go home with just about $19,000. So we're playing for a lot of cheeseburgers here on the HPT three-handed.
Yeah, it's a great job to play poker and play for this kind of cash. You know, some people work all year to take home a paycheck like this. These guys are doing it in a weekend.
Hey, I resemble that remark. The flop is 7, 5 deuce, couple of spades.
Yeah, BJ here. Nice flop for him. And he has position. He's going to bet 75,000. Joshua, true to form, is not going anywhere.
All right, let's go to the turn card. It's the 8 of diamonds, so now an open-ended straight draw for BJ to go along with his spades.
And he's got a decision to make here. Does he continue with his story, or does he take the free card? Tough spot, knowing what to do here. I think with picking up that straight draw, he's, in addition to his flush draw, he's right to continue betting.
The bet is $175,000. You see he's behind in the hand, but so many outs to win the hand. So a nice bet there by BJ, and he's going to take this down. We talked about it earlier. BJ, third place last year here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg, and he's trying to do just a little bit better. Second would be cool, but when you enter a poker tournament, everybody's thinking about the same thing. You want to be the champion. The money is one thing, but you want to say, I won the whole thing.
Title means a lot. You know, obviously the money's great. What do you play for? Do you play for the title or do you play for the money? Each person's a little different, and I think it's a mix of both.
To me, it depends on how much money you have. You know, if you're constantly, consistently cashing, then it changes. If you're one of those grinders like myself that, you know, you're taking every nickel and dime to get you into the event, it's about the cash.
BJ here managing pot control with his pair of fives. Now it's Jeff's turn. He's gonna take a stab at a bluff here, betting 100,000. Will BJ make the hero call? He does.
It's just not enough. I think he's got to bet more than 100,000.
You're right. It's exactly like 250. Make it tough. Make it a stinger.
Make it 350. I mean, look at the guy you're betting into. Look at all the chips he has there. 100,000. That's you know. Here you go. It's a gift. Or wait, it's a gift to me. Thank you very much. As we move on.
Yeah, that's a good point, James. You don't want to make your decisions easy for your opponents. You want to put them to tough decisions, whether you're bluffing or whether it's a value bet. So, continuing on now, blinds 30, 60,000 with a 30K big blind ante.
These guys have been playing poker all weekend long. Jeff here with the 10 deuce going up against the 6-5. Flop comes out 5 tray deuce. A little something for everybody.
Yeah, a little bit something more for BJ here with his pair of fives over the ducks of Jeff.
So these are always tough hands. Someone shoves all in. You have top pair, but the board's a little wet.
Yeah, I think he's going to rationalize a call here as well he should. I mean, he not only has top pair, he's got the redraw to the straight in case his opponent has the hand he's representing.
So really it's not that hard at all is what you're saying.
Well, relatively. I mean, if it was early in the tournament, no, it wouldn't be that hard. But here we're at the end. You can see there's over or nearly a $10,000 difference. So every decision becomes tough.
835,000 chips to make this call now for BJ. So
right. And we were just saying Jeff should put more pressure on his opponent, and he's done it.
Yeah,
he does.
I think he's got to make the call here.
He did.
And
yep.
Jeff's going to see the bad news. He's going to see that he is behind, running cards for a straight or hoping to catch another deuce or a 10.
Yeah. Running cards to chop it with a straight or a 10 or a deuce. This is the Doyle Brunson hand. They call it the 10 deuce because he won the World Series of Poker with this hand.
Not a hand that's ever been lucky for me. I'm talking never, especially in blackjack.
Ooh.
And that is the dagger, ladies and gentlemen. The 5 of diamonds comes on the turn, and that will eliminate Jeff. He's going to go home with third place money, almost $19,000. Congratulations, my friend, but it's back to work for you over at the Cattle Ranch. And when we come back, it'll be Heads Up Poker right here on the HPT.
Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James as we broadcast from Vicksburg, Mississippi, here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel. We started with 199 entries, and now we are down to our final 2.
Yeah, and Joshua, he's on the extreme short stack. Fumes, as we like to say.
Yeah.
Just 11 big blinds. Got quite a hill to climb. BJ, wow, everything going his way. But as we like to say, James, anything can happen in heads-up play.
So there, as you see the chip counts, it's a little lopsided, as we just said. But, hey, if you're fans of Josh, he's got a chair, and he's got just over 700,000. So it's not over yet.
Yeah, a chair and a prayer, as we like to say out in the poker community. But, you know, things can snowball quickly. One quick double up.
Well, and speaking of that, this thing could be over right now. BJ shoves all in with his ace-7. Josh makes the call, and as you can see, he's behind in the hand.
Yeah, but this is standard. You got to call. You can't be folding, you know, when you only have 11 big blinds. King suited, very standard. The title on the line. To the flop we go.
And it comes out King, Jack, 4. So Josh pairs his king and takes the lead.
And he vaults into the lead. You can see the percentages now. 87% favorite to the turn we go. Oh,
and now
my.
everything changes. The ace of diamonds on the turn. This event could be over here on the final river card.
Look at the percentage change in the swings in this game are amazing. To the river we go.
And the river card is the king of hearts. And just like that, Joshua wins the hand. He's going to double up a pot of almost 1.4 million chips. So he was behind, he was ahead, he was behind, and then he won the hand.
Back and forth, and they're going to reconcile the chips. Those grays are $5,000 each. That's a $100,000 stack. Play continues, James.
Wow, so you're saying I have a chance. Wow, Joshua, a big hand there. Fun to call that one. And BJ says, that's okay. Just a mere flesh wound. I've got plenty of chips. I'm not going to get nervous. Everything's fine here. I got him right where I want him.
Boy, you sound like you are inside his head, James. All right, now to this hand. Joshua calls with the king 9 defending, and he flops a king again.
Look at this. The kings are Joshua's best friends right now.
Now he checks. He's going to try and elicit a bluff from his opponent. And he does. Does he raise here now, James, or do you just flat and let your opponent continue to do the bluffing?
I like the idea of flatting in this position right here. We'll see what the turn card brings, but he's going to raise to $250,000, and I don't mind that play either. You know what? Win the first 2 hands, keep the momentum going.
Right. The board is kind of flushing there and straighting, so it's a little wet, so I don't mind him seizing his equity right there.
All right, well, the worm has turned a little bit here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. 2 players left. We got BJ and Josh. And now BJ is going to raise to 125,000 with a pretty decent hand heads up, ace-8. But I'd rather have Josh's hand heads up, pocket tens. He is on fire right now.
This guy has caught fire at the right time. He's getting a stack of those blue. Looks like he's going to 3-bet to 400,000, putting it right to BJ again.
Well, I think BJ would like to start this heads-up match over with. He comes in with this huge chip lead, and he's 0 for 2, about to be 0 for 3 perhaps. He does have the ace, but going up against a big pocket pair.
Yeah, it looks like he's a fighter that's taken a couple to the chin. But he's going to defend, and rightly so. He does have the button. He has position. He has a reasonable hand. But Joshua, he's got some life in him now as we go to the flop.
And the flop comes out King, Jack, 5. So the 10's still in the lead for Josh.
But the biggest fear is realized when you have the pocket pair. The overcards come, always tough to play. If you are the pre-flop raiser in heads up, you're supposed to lead. That's the proper technique, but it's so tough. And the reason that is a lot of times your opponent will just have ace high or a smaller pair, so you don't want to be caught in this situation where now he's basically bluff catching. Is he going to bluff catch 3 streets, the flop, the turn, and the river? Or does he just give up here? This is the problem when you check.
Wow, BJ bets 300,000. This is going to get interesting here down the stretch. Let's go to the turn card. It's the 5 of clubs, so the board pairs here. Josh with 10s and 5s, and you see BJ with just ace high, but Josh is going to check it over to him.
Yeah, now BJ's got a really tough decision. Look, it looks like he can't swallow a BB. Did you see that?
Yeah, and he's going to check.
He went dry mouth on us.
And the river card is the king of clubs.
Oh, boy, this makes Joshua so happy because now it's much more or less likely that your opponent has a king. So this is a check and call situation from here. I think BJ's going to give up. And the momentum is going to continue Joshua's way. Let's see.
He's going to check. Yep. Josh is going to see the good news.
Look
for
at
the
this.
3rd straight hand. He's going to win and take down the pot of over $1.4 million. I tell you what, we're in for a good one here from the Ameristar Casino in Vicksburg. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HPT, and Joshua, I got a new nickname for him. We're going to call him the Comeback Kid.
I like it. Only 2 big blinds separate these 2 players now.
You said, before we started heads up, your exact words were, I can roll the tape back, a prayer and a chair for Josh. Now he's the chip leader.
He is on fire, as you said. And so this is going to get interesting here as BJ raises on the button with 10-8 of hearts. But it looks like Joshua, if I saw right, peeked down at an ace. He's getting out some raising chips.
Yeah, the raise you see is to 180,000 by BJ. And now a re-raise by Josh. He does have the ace. Ace-queen, got a re-raise to 485,000. If I'm BJ, I'm thinking, what hand can I play here? How do I beat this guy?
Patience and discipline. You know, and he's in these tough spots because he's in position. So it's hard to just fold out your equity. So he's going to defend, and rightly so. But he is behind as we go to the flop.
And the flop comes out 10-9-4. A great flop here for BJ. Pairs his 10s, and he's got the heart draw.
Yeah, you know, one thing that staves off the blood flow is a good flop. And now he's going to love this. I think he should bet probably about 350, 400,000.
And I think for BJ, just for his confidence right now, he needs to win a hand. He's 0 for 3 heads up here. I think he just needs to get that confidence back. He came in as a huge chip leader, but he's not going to give up. And he's being aggressive here, 455,000, swelling that pot to almost 1.5. Josh here with just ace high.
Yeah, this is a nice disciplined
very good fold.
From
very
Joshua,
good fold.
yeah.
It's hard to do that heads up with a board of 10-9-4, ace queen. You think, all right, maybe I can make this call. But Josh says to himself, I worked hard to get back in this thing, and I'm not going to give them back. At least I'm not going to make it easy.
Yeah, that's a good point, James. He now has the button. Let's see what he does with this hand as we peek down. Joshua with the 8-4 spades, just looking to see a flop. BJ will comply. To the flop we go.
Look at this flop. The ladies are very kind of BJ here. 2 queens and a 7. 3 of a kind for BJ. But Josh has the spade draw.
And listen, look at both players now. They've been duking it out heads up. They're slowing down. I expect a bet and a call.
Yeah, it's 105,000. Josh should make this call to see if he can catch one of the remaining spades left in the deck, and he does just that. So, to the river card we go. No spade. It's the 6 of clubs.
Once again, Joshua might escape this hand with just losing a few chips.
Now BJ's got to get some value here. What do you think a bet of about 200,000?
Well, he's not going to get. He's going to get 0 because the value he could have gotten was check to try and elicit a bluff from his opponent on the river, but he goes for straight value, hoping his opponent Joshua here has a pair, which he doesn't. So this is going to be an easy fold, and on we go. 2 hands now in a row to BJ. He's got the exacta. He's going to go for the trifecta. Not easy, but you get, poker is a game of momentum, and it's important to get the momentum going in your favor.
And it's important when things aren't going your way to stay patient, and keep your head in the game. Don't overreact, especially heads up, and realize, all right, I'm still in this thing.
Yeah.
And, we use the word tilt a lot and things like that. You need to just tell yourself, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I just got to weather the storm, basically. Mm-hmm. Well, look at this. Talk about queens. First, BJ flops 3 of a kind. Now he wakes up with a pocket queens.
Yeah, the ladies are following him here, seems like, as we go to a flop.
Well, right in the window, the queen of spades.
Oh, 3 queens again.
Wow, so BJ flops a set.
Interesting to watch these tendencies and these, these patterns develop in the cards. It hits the trifecta. That's 3 hands in a row for BJ. Momentum so important, especially in heads-up play. So these 2 players going back and forth, James. Really exciting to watch.
Well, Kenna, you and I have been working on this show a pretty long time, and I will say that this has to be one of the most exciting heads-up matches I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth between these 2 players, and it's not going to stop anytime soon as BJ looks down at ace-queen.
Did you say a queen? He's got another queen in his hand? Well, that can't be good for his opponent, I'll tell you that much for sure.
Yeah, is Joshua now considering his option? He looks down at pocket 3s. We say, James, 16-1 to be dealt to pair. It's a very good hand. Heads up, and he moves all in. Quickly called by BJ with his ace-queen, and all of a sudden we have over a 3 million chip pot.
Wow, this is the pot of the night. The 3s are in the lead. BJ's got 2 big overcards. You see the percentages there. Mm-hmm. It's a coin flip. All right, pocket 3s going up against ace-queen. Let's go to the flop. And look at that. 2 queens. Once again, BJ flops 3 of a kind.
We are going to need a 3 on the river.
Yes, you are going to need a 3, but it could come on the turn.
Yeah.
3 spades.
He's asking for the 3 of spades. Turn cards, the 7 of diamonds.
3 of spades.
Going to need to see a 3 on the river.
He's asking for it.
Leave us in second place.
3 of spades.
Let's go to that river card. Will Josh get the miracle 3 of spades? There it is.
My.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. He asked for it.
You talk about willing a card.
He asked for the 3 of spades, and he got it.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Boy, I feel sorry for BJ. He's not out yet, but we'll have more final table action coming up after these words. Welcome back to the HPT. It has been an awesome heads-up match so far, and the best is yet to come. 2 players left, BJ and Josh. Let's get back to the action.
Yeah, well, now only 3 big blinds separate these 2 players once again. Joshua just flatting on the button with 8-7 suited. Action over to BJ.
I got a feeling we might be here for a while. It keeps going back and forth. It's been quite the roller coaster tonight on the HPT as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino here in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Well, BJ, I like this play, actually. His hand has very little value, so he's going to go for the steal early in the hand pre-flop with his just 7 deuce suited. But Joshua's not going anywhere. He's going to defend his equity in his position. He makes the call.
8-7 going up against 7 deuce. Flop comes out king 5 deuce with a couple of hearts.
You know, people, complain about starting cards, that, rag hands, but it's really the flop that matters. As you can see, BJ flops the World Fair. Pair and a flush draw. Both players check. To the turn we go.
Turn card is the Queen of Diamonds.
It's the Queen of Diamonds.
The ever-present Queen coming back into play. Helps neither player, though. I expect BJ to take over. He doesn't. He elects to check.
He is in the lead with his deuces. Now let's go to the river card. It's the Trey of Clubs. So BJ with the check mark. But he doesn't feel real good about it. He's got deuces, and he's going to see that he is the winner of the hand.
And you know what? Joshua's going to say, wait a minute, you 3-bet me pre-flop with that piece
with
of cheese?
7 deuce? Come on, man.
Come on, man. That's a lot of cheddar for 7 deuce suited.
Now, if you're just joining us, BJ had a huge chip lead when we started Heads Up Poker, but ran into some not bad luck, but some really bad luck.
The buzzsaw.
The buzzsaw. The reverse buzzsaw.
So here now, he looks down at King 10 and moves all in and is quickly called. Now Joshua, the favorite. Look at this. Quickly, both players all in. Ace Queen versus King 10, basically a 3-2 favorite, 60-40 for Joshua. And the tournament title on the line now as we go to the flop.
And look at that. Right in the window is the King of Hearts. So BJ takes the lead. He's just 2 cards away from being our newest HPT champion.
Well, this guy, Joshua, has called off cards before. Can he do it again? To the turn we go.
Turn card is another jack.
He's now going to need a 10 or an ace, or this tournament will be over and the title will be BJ's.
1 card to go, ladies and gentlemen.
A tense moment for both players. A lot on the line. To the river we go.
And that river card is the 8 of diamonds, and that's going to do it. BJ has finally finished off Josh to take down this championship here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg.
What a fantastic finish to a great event. Congratulations to both players. A battle well fought.
What an exciting finish. You see Joshua there, he's scratching his head wondering what happened. Just the back and forth of these two. He came all the way from 11 big blinds to the chip leader and now out. Wow, this is one of the most exciting heads-up battles we've seen out here on tour, James.
And BJ's got to be thinking, finally, I got rid of this guy and I took down the tournament. We'll catch up with our champion here in a few minutes, but right now, let's catch up with Josh, our second place finisher. He's with Jeremy.
Tell me about that last hand there.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. We're getting too shallow, and Ace Queen's a monster heads up, so happy to get it in for my stack.
Yeah, you definitely got it in good there. Tell me about that 3, where you had the pocket 3s as well. Actually called the card and came on the river there.
Yeah, that was exciting. Pocket 3s have been my hand kind of every time I've had them. I've won a big pot, so when I had them, a pair heads up, get it in for my stack, and then he hits 2 queens. I had to have a 3, and it was a 3 of spades.
Yeah, you played great throughout the day. Is there anything else you feel you could have done differently there?
Honestly, no. I mean, BJ's a great player, and, he outplayed me in a few spots, but I think I played pretty well.
Oh, there you go. Joshua talking about his highlight moment where he's calling off not only the card, but the suit. You almost feel like it's destiny at that point. But, well, his destiny was second place. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. And BJ's destiny was to be our newest HPT champion. He'll go home with almost $46,000. And right now, he's down with Jeremy Smith. Guys.
Starting heads up there, you got him in a 7-1 chip lead. Back and forth, back and forth. I think you guys changed the chip lead at least 4 times there. Tell me about that last hand and that heads-up play.
Blinds just got high, and I shipped it in there, and I got lucky. But there was a few times he hit the river as well, so it was a tough battle. It was a good match.
Yeah, absolutely. Third place last time we were here. First place HPT champion today. Going to walk away with almost $46,000. What's your plans for the money?
I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're going to enjoy it right now.
Congratulations, BJ, once again. There you have it, our new HPT champion. Back to you guys.
What a great point Jeremy makes. BJ finishing third last year. He betters that this year to become our new HPT champion. Congratulations.
All right, well, that's a wrap here from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. What a week it has been. I want to thank all the players for making this such a memorable event. All right, if you're watching this show and you're thinking, hey, I can play for that life-changing cash. I want to play on national TV. Why not give it a shot? All you have to do is log on to our website, hptpoker.com, and who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash. For our tournament director, Jeremy Smith, and my buddy Kenneth James, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time right here on the HPT.